Hello and welcome to Top Story. Today, as forest fires continue to burn beyond control across much of southern Greece, we ask what will be the economic and political price. With a general election only 3 weeks away, opposition parties are accusing the government of gross incompetence. In Athens, demonstrators marched through the city calling for the resignation of the government after television stations showed pictures of people fighting to save their houses with no more than buckets and hoses. More than 60 people have died in the most devastating wildfires in Greek history. The government declared a state of emergency at the weekend and suggested the fires could have been caused by arsonists trying to discredit the ruling party ahead of the election on September the 16th. The police have charged at least 7 people with arson. Opponents of the government have derided its claims, but Forestry Service officials believe arson is the most likely cause of most of the fires. More than 150 fires blazed across Greece at the weekend, and new fires continue to ignite, despite emergency assistance from the European Union. Well, I'm joined now from Athens by Christos Christopoulos, who is a lawyer. Thanks very much for being on Top Story. If I could just ask you, what's the situation at present? Is it getting better, or are more fires igniting all the time?
Yes, it's getting somehow better, almost in Peloponnese, but in Evia, in the island near Athens, there are new fires still burning, and the old fires are there. They're trying to do their best. We'll see the outcome of that.
Well, you say
but
that
now we're talking.
So you say
Yes.
that they're trying to do their best, but the popular perception is that the best hasn't been very good so far. Is that a fair assessment by the Greek public or not?
Please repeat, because I have a very bad sound. Excuse me.
The popular assessment of the government's performance so far is that it has not been very competent in dealing with the fires. Is that a fair assessment?
This is there's a first criticism from the opposition. Yes, it's founded, but it's the lack of organization and the lack of. It's a very big distraction that the government couldn't face. They were prepared. There was a plan for 2004 Olympic Games to protect forests. This plan wasn't followed after the Olympic Games. So the opposition now is make criticism about the competence of the government. But we have to see that in the great plan of elections on the September 16th.
The government has been blaming arsonists, and fire experts seem to agree with them on that. But the government has gone even further and suggested there may have been a plot to undermine the state. How much credence is given to those claims in Greece?
We don't believe that we would be under a terrorist attack. I think there were arsons in all over Greece, probably from the construction mafia, but probably the ones who put the fires didn't expect the result, because the result is it's disastrous for Greece. It's an unprecedented tragedy. It's a massive disaster, the most massive disaster after the Second World War. No, there's an inexplicable loss of life of 64 people. This is very, very difficult to swallow.
You mentioned there the construction mafia. What precisely is the charge against the construction mafia? What is it that they're meant to have been doing?
In the past, there were arsons from constructors, but there were little fires that were extinct very soon. Now there was probably a plan, but a criminal, not a terrorist plan, to burn. But the outcome was much bigger than probably they were expected.
And 7 people have been arrested and charged with arson. Are these people who work in the construction business?
No, from what I've heard in the media, they weren't working for construction business, no. But don't expect that this kind of people would be easily arrested.
The political fallout from this could be quite significant, with elections less than 3 weeks away now on September the 16th. And by all accounts, the gap between the New Democracy Party and the Socialist PASOK Party is down to 1% now. Do you think that these fires could have a big impact on the general election?
Last week's polls gave a lead of 1.5% to the governmental party, but I believe that this lead is very frail and could come around. Everybody is protesting. This afternoon we have a protest. All people are called to dressed in black and go before the parliament and protest. So 25%, there's a poll that says that today that 25% will think to change their vote because of the fires.
Mr. Christopoulos, leaving aside politics for a moment, the economic and environmental damage caused by these fires must be enormous.
Of course, they're a cost of 3 billion euros after the fires, and that is about 0.8% of our GDP. There will be a need for a huge amount of money. Already we have a big deficit, and the financial reconstruction, the financial reconstruction will be very, very difficult.
And the environment.
We don't have the means to do that. The environment, the flora and fauna, and the ecosystem balance is very largely damaged, and we expect floods, and it will be a very difficult winter. At this time of the year, we have high temperatures, but we know that during winter temperatures go below zero. So there are people without homes, homeless, where these people will be lodged. And then they don't have, their crops are destroyed, their business are destroyed, their houses are destroyed. How these people are going to live? So already we have
there has been a promise of massive aid. There has been a promise of massive aid from the European Union.
There's a promise from who? Now they're from the television channels, the media are making efforts to get money. We will, I believe that the Greek state will ask for help and financial aid from the European Union. But you have to understand that the amount of 3 billion euros is a very large amount to be faced easily.
And I imagine too that this could have quite a serious effect on the Greek tourist industry, which is also extremely important for the Greek economy.
Of course, we're talking about forests that were unique in Europe, about species that were destroyed that were unique in Europe. On the west side of Peloponnese was a very touristic area. All that is destroyed now. Think about the ancient Olympia. It's almost destroyed. Of course, there will be a very large damage at our tourist industry.
Okay, that's all we have time for today. Thanks to Christos Christopoulos in Athens. Join us again tomorrow for another edition of Top Story. Goodbye for now.